Hey guys, Joe here. So, you want to be on loan, huh? Yeah. First of all, congratulations and good luck. Now, however, with that said, yeah, there's the glory aspect of being on there. There's the aspect of being the last one, etc., etc. However, there's a part of a loan that's really not discussed. One is really ask yourself, am I really ready to be on there? Secondly, think about the ramifications of being on there. Good little trivia is a good number of them have a form of post-traumatic stress. It's highly stressful. There's the aspect of starving. I mean, in a literal sense, because you don't know how the show's going to play with you. There you don't know if they're going to stick you in an area, and you have all these plans of, oh, I'm going to go fishing, I'm going to go hunting, and you get there and, oh, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't touch that. So, yeah, which happened on one episode where there were so many restrictions that people just couldn't survive. They were literally starving. And a number of them I know and love them talk. When I mention these things, they're like, yeah. And you have to ask yourself that question. Is if I get on this, am I ready to come back, a wreck? The better like a term is coming back as a wreck. Physically, especially, and psychologically. However, a lot of them talk about once you get past a certain time, something happens that I guess you could say your spiritual mind, comes forth and such. It's this, you feel the life around you, feel in touch with something greater than us. And there's the problem. Is a couple of them who got extracted because of medical, especially, been out there for a while. They talk about suddenly of just like, one moment, early in the day, they're just sitting, just chilling in the shelter, looking at the roof and just listening to the wind outside and the animals move about. And just feeling of just, yes, I'm hungry, I'm suffering, I'm cold, and etc., but I'm content in a way. And then all of a sudden, you get your med check, and it's like, oh, we got to get them out. And with no warning, no fanfare, they are yanked out of that situation, and then thrown back into society in the ER with all the flashing lights, sounds, movement, better like a term of chaos. And one contestant I talked to, as I'm not going to really mention any names, okay? Just if they wish to come forward and say who, yes or no, that's on them. But I'm doing it for the sake of their privacy. But one was talking about, they were laying back in the bed, staring at the fluorescent lights, just blinding them. They said, two guys, there's a guy screaming who's in a car wreck. This one, and this, alarms going off. This one guy in the ER is going into a heart attack, and there's all this commotion. And they're thinking to themselves, I'm going to lose my mind now. It's just that it's a lot of it that stress, that trauma, comes from being yanked back out of society, out of that into thrown back into society. And secondly is, this is probably going to really black mislead me now, but you need to be considerate of this as well. Is if you get pulled out for medical, they don't. You're not there till you're fully recovered. You're there till you're patched up, you know. And they're like, oh, okay, yep, oh, good, good. You're standing on your 2 feet. Okay, oh, good, good, good. Yeah, there you go. Go home. Bye. Don't call us. We'll call you. And that, seemed to happen with a lot of them. In the first few seasons, a lot of the contestants still of them deal with the post-traumatic stress of eating disorders, of food problem, of eating, which is that they never did the refeeding situation of helping them slowly get back into normal eating after not eating for months on end. Huh. Well, I'll be. Just had a fox run by. Might be a good sign. But anyways, is that one I talked to who's on the first season? He says they said like, yeah, he says I'd eat and eat and eat and like be up to my gullet, top of my throat here, and want to eat some more. A couple of contestants are freely, speak freely about that post-traumatic stress, of that food trauma, of starving. Of some of them will always carry food with them. One actually has like M&Ms or something like that on their nightstand. So if they wake up in that night, that night terror, being out back there starving, they have that and they eat that and they go back to sleep. Now, another thing to think about is while you're there, the protection cares about you. All right? You're there, you're the resource. But once you stop, cooperating and being argumentative, or you get sick and they pull you out, you're on your own. They don't care. And if they could, use you for another season or type of thing, is they'll consider you. But most of the time is, two of them I talked to are known. They're supposed to be on Frozen 2 of Alone, which didn't happen. But apparently they got called and said, hey, we don't need you. Now, here's another thing to really, really, really get to think about. I want you to think about this real good. Really good. You need to sit down and talk to your family about this. Seriously. You think of the stress that just happens to you? What about your family? You're away for a month, 2, 3, or so. You're gone. And they're only kept in contact every so often. They're like, yep, he's fine. They're still out there, etc., etc. That's it. Then, you come back, and you're not that person anymore. Guarantee this way, you are probably not that person. If you've been out there for an extended period of time, you're not coming back to who you were. You've changed. Dramatically. A lot. And that puts an exorbitant amount of stress on your family. An exorbitant amount of stress. That, so much so, that it's not hard to find out, but a number of those who are on alone are no longer with their companions. A good number of them. I could count on my hand how many are still together with their original partners when they went on. The rest separated. So if you're in a relationship, you need to talk about that, really. Have I did that with my wife? Absolutely, multiple times. We sit down and talked about it. My wife is an odd duck, so to speak. She grew up to a rancher. She's a rancher's daughter, and she has a master's degree in environmental engineering, so she's an engineer. So she does not think normally. At the same time is talking to contestants, spouses, and whatnot. And they wish one thing they told her when she brought up the idea of if I got on there, she'd immediately contact the family members of the other contestants and tell them, okay, this is what's going on. This is what they're going to go through. This is how we prepare for it. And a couple of the contestants told her, saying, I wish he did get on her when my husband or wife was on there, because it would have made things a lot easier to deal with when they got back. So if you're in a relationship, and you get on there and you got there for a while, you need to really think about it. I mean, do you really want to come back and be with it, say that with this person that you've been with 5, 10, 20 years, and now it's over because you've changed, and they can't handle the fact that you have this thing about you. And I can't really say it's a post-traumatic stress. It's just you go out there and you see realities. When you get touched by nature, it's society no longer becomes real, so to speak. It's chaos. Yes, nature's chaos, but society is uncontrolled chaos. Fire happens, it happens. It's just that, that's what to think about is when you get touched like that, it changes your life. And it changes the lives of those around you. I mean, unless you've experienced it and your partner's experienced it, or at least seen you experience it and was able to weather it, things would be fine. If I was to get on there and I was to come back totally changed, would I be able to guarantee my marriage would last? No, I can't say that, because I don't know how I'm going to be. I don't know how it's going to be for my wife. But that's something to think about. Is aside from that big, $500,000, $500,000, and the fame and glory and such that comes with it, and being able to go to any place and teach, is you have to also temper that with, if I go, what happens if I come back messed up more than usual? Think about that. So, anyways, I thought I'd just discuss that with you. It's like, it's like, yeah, it would be great to be on there, but, I sometimes have to ask myself, do I really want to do this to my wife? Do I really want to do this to my family? I mean, money doesn't last all the time. It could go real quickly. I'm sure this year we've learned that lesson. But just, relationships can last. Money does not. Of course, we like the money can, but we already know that. So. Anyways, I'm yammering here. So, anyways, I thought I'd just give you guys a little, something to chew on, to think about if you want to get onto a loan. I'm not trying to say don't. I'm just trying to say think about it. It's like, maybe not. I have a good job here. I have a good life. I mean, I'm raising some kids right now, or just whatever. Think about it. And then make your decision. But think about it first, and think about it long and hard. Talk it out to your partners. So, alright, that's enough right now. So, I'll talk to y'all later.